Put them down. All right, good morning, good morning. Happy unofficial Friday. Listen up. Let's see, Madeline, keep it down that stool. Gavin, keep it down that stool. All right, new project intro coming at you today. So on the next clean page of your notebook, you can write set of cups. It's just a little bit of writing I'm going to have you do, but mostly this page is going to be for sketching. So you'll be getting some brainstormed ideas. Other quick things that you should know, we do have a fire drill at the end of this hour today, so cleanup will happen a little bit earlier, 5 minutes earlier than usual. Also, a reminder that tomorrow we have a guest speaker for our Google Meet. It is a required Google Meet. Sorry for the confusion that I might have sown yesterday, like implying that maybe it wasn't mandatory, because it for sure is mandatory. You can attend our Google Meet at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And the guest speaker, I'll talk more about him in a little bit. People at home, just remember 9 a.m. tomorrow, mandatory Google Meet. All right, so there's not really any demos that go along with this project because you already know a lot about what you, about ceramics and means to work with ceramics. So here's what I want you to start with. Think back to all the ceramic projects that you've done in Ceramics A, in Ceramics B, and Ceramics C, and I want you to talk to the people around you and see how many techniques you can remember, how many projects you can remember, because what I'm getting at here is this new project, this set of 2 cups, you can make this using any technique that you already know, okay? Or a new one that you want to learn. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, talk to each other, try to remember as many clay projects that you've done in my classes, and then I'm going to ask you about them. Ready, go.
Like everything?
Everything. In Ceramics A, Ceramics B, Advanced, anything.
Yeah, we did the 14. And we'll go through it. We did a double pinch shot.
Yeah. Brainstorm all the projects you can remember.
Oh, we had a little. Oh, we did the.
All right, pause your conversations. Somebody call out. What is one of the techniques you remember learning in this or a previous ceramics class? What? Did somebody say what? Yes. So that is one of the options for this new project. You can coil build your set of cups. What's another thing you learned in a ceramics class? Pinch pots, right? That is an option. You can use the pinch pot technique to be able to make your set of cups, or you can mix and match techniques. You can coil build it so you get the contours of a coil pot, and then pinch it so you get the textures of a pinch pot, right? Mixing it up, hybrid. What's another thing that you learned in a previous ceramics class? Slab, right. We learned how to build using flat slabs to build something that is, some of you anyway, learned how to build something that's like a rectangle or a cube or a triangle. And then some people learned how to build a slab so that it has more of a taper like this by using a paper cup and disassembling it and using that as a template to be able to make your cup taper and be shorter at the bottom, narrower at the bottom than it is at the top. So that's a technique you can use to make your cups, as well as cutting your pieces, beveling the edges, and putting them together if you want something that has more sharp corners and angles. What's another technique that you learned in any ceramics class? On the wheel, exactly. You guys learned, I would say that probably all of you have a reasonable amount of experience on the wheel. I think all of you had, for sure, A in person. And I think maybe all but one or two of you had B in person as well. So you had some experience on the wheel. So that's something you could do on the wheel. You could throw the bodies of both of your cups on the wheel. Any other techniques that you remember? Coil, slab, wheel, pinch. We did that technique where we had a mold. Anyone remember what that's called?
Molding.
Molding, good guess. So either slumping or what's the other one? Draping. And so the molds, remember, again, here, I'm not sure that this would make for a very good cup shape, unless maybe you want one of those really big latte mugs like they have on Friends. Then it might work. But these, that could be a technique that you start with that and then coil build to make it taller, make it more of a cup, because a cup really should be taller than it is wide. So those molds could be a start, and then you could build up from there. Because for this project, you can also mix and match techniques. You can make something using slabs and then throw the top portion of it and put it together. You can coil something and then pinch it to be able to give it more of a human kind of texture. So I want you to build on what you've already known and done in my other classes and in this class. But then if you find something that really inspires you and you want to try an all new technique, that's fine too. Like one of the things you could try is throwing something on the wheel, which obviously would turn out to be round, but then altering it, paddling it so it becomes square. So you end up having a square wheel thrown piece. So there's different techniques that you can do that build upon what you already know. So just keep that in mind, that you know a whole lot of stuff, but there's even more that can be discovered and learned going on YouTube, going on Pinterest, searching online. There's a million different things that you could try. So I couldn't even possibly begin to show you all the options for this project. So I'm just gonna throw out a few out there that might become inspiration. You're gonna be looking for more ideas after this to kind of brainstorm and see what you want to do. But here's your objective, and this is one of the things I want you to write down right now, please. You're gonna create, you're gonna design, so you're gonna plan it out, and create a set of 2. I cut this down yesterday, it was gonna be 3, but I cut it down to 2 or more. You can certainly do more. If you want to do one for every member of your family, that's great. But at least 2 cups that have similar form. So that means the shape should be rather similar. And I didn't say exactly the same because it can be a very challenging thing to, like, for example, throw a pot on the wheel and have 2 exactly identical. But I want you to try because that's a really good skill for an advanced student to learn, is to try and replicate a form multiple times. So to create a set of 2 or more cups that have a similar form, it will need a surface design. That means decoration. It's going to have a decoration of some kind, and that doesn't include glaze. Okay, so something before the glaze comes into it. It's going to need similar feet. So if it's a wheel thrown thing, you'll need to trim that foot. If it's a hand built thing, you might have to figure out some other kind of foot to elevate and support and stabilize. A handle is optional. Okay, so if you want to have this be a mug, it'll need a handle, and then both handles will need to be the same on both mugs. If you would rather design something that's a cup that doesn't have a handle, that's fine too. That's up to you. But if it has a handle, the 2 handles should be the same. And then any other components of it should be similar. So these are all cup sets that are similar without being 100% identical. So the flower cups have Engo that's been painted on them, and they're different colors, but yet you can tell that they're part of a set. The middle stack of cups are all the same shape, slab built, pulled handle, and they have different designs that pop out. So they are clearly part of a set, but not identical. And then the cups on the right are all wheel thrown, and then just have different dogs that have been scored and slipped to the surface, painted with Engo, and so again, not identical, but clearly part of a set. Let's look at a few more examples. These are wheel thrown pots with pulled handles. You guys remember pulled handles? We have to take the clay, make it an ice cream cone, and pull it. So these are cups that are identical, and they have spoons built into them. So that's kind of a cool trick. These are cups that are wheel thrown and then have designs carved in with a ribbon tool. Those pots up on top are really futuristic, geometric pots that I would guess were made with slabs. I guess I don't know for sure. They could probably be made on the wheel or with slabs, or even coiled. Pots on the left remind me or make me think that maybe there was a terrible accident throwing on the wheel, and then they were like, that's not so bad. And so then they replicated the kind of twist. It probably wasn't accidental. It was probably intentional. But anyway, they're slightly different from each other, but clearly still kind of part of the same look, part of the same aesthetic. And then these pots on the right, this is a technique that we normally would have done as one of your options for advanced ceramics, but I wasn't able to give the option to the people at home, so we didn't do it. But that's marbling. So if you want to try marbling, that would be done by taking equal amounts of the stoneware and the red earthenware, like we would use in ceramics A, and wedging them together to marble them, and then they have to be thrown on a wheel. And so then they would have to be fired at a lower temperature because of the earthenware being a low temperature. So that's something you can try if you like that look, if you're gonna throw it. It doesn't really work for hand building techniques, unfortunately. All right, so today's assignment, if you're not done with your raku sculpture, definitely work on that first. Take your video, do your artist statement, get it turned in as soon as you can. If you are ready to move on, the first thing I want you to do is to go online, either on your phone or your Chromebook, and look for 5 cups or mugs that you find would be inspiring, or that you think would be inspiring to influence the kind of work that you want to make for this project. I'm not saying you have to copy it. I'm just saying, like, if you find a handle on a cup that you like, sketch that in your notebook so you can use that as a reference. If you find a design that you like, sketch that in your notebook. I want you to look for 5 different mugs or cups that you like because of their form, surface design, handle, foot, glazing, whatever. Sketch these in your notebook on the same page where you have an objective. Then draw a line under those inspiration sketches and plan out a little bit larger what it is that you want to try and make for this set of cups. Remember, you're doing 2 that are clearly part of a set. They need to relate. So in that sketch, in that larger sketch, show me what you're planning to make. And it's okay if your ideas deviate, if they change, if you go down a different path. But I want you to have a game plan to start for. Sketch what that final piece might look like. And then write notes in the side. Tell me in your notes how you plan to make it, wheel, slab, coil, etc. Tell me what your surface design plans are. If it has a handle, tell me what that plan is. If it has a foot, tell me what that plan is. And then your assignment for today is to submit a photo of those sketches, okay? And so this is what mine looked like. This is the same thing I have here in my hand. So my first sketches up above were a slab built thing that was actually based on those really geometric futuristic mugs. I thought those were kind of cool. So the first one was slab built. Second one I thought could be fun to slab build it, but then pinch it so it looked more bumpy. A wheel thing, a slab, a travel mug. This is a travel mug. And so just by adding this little piece right here, you drink through that. That's what makes it a travel mug. So I actually already made one of those. And then the 5th idea I thought could be made wheel or slab, really good one. And then the number 1 idea that I wanted to do, because this is a cup that I do all the time for my business, is a wheel thrown cup. I pinch it so that there's a little bit of a variety in the shape. I'm gonna make a slab handle, and then I'm gonna carve little squirrels into it. So that's my number 1 idea. That's the one that I'm actually going to make. So that's kind of what I want to see your design or your assignment for today look like. 5 inspiration sketches, and then 1 sketch that is above and beyond kind of the thing that you want to try to go for. And you don't have to draw 2 of them, because I'm going to assume that both of them that you make will be based on the same sketch. If you want to draw both of them, that's fine. So then after that's done, that probably won't take you very long. You can actually begin today. After you've done your sketches, taken your photo, submitted that to Schoology, you can start practicing on the wheel. You can start making your slab or your templates, or start making your coils, and you can actually begin one of your pieces today. So before I let you scatter and go about your business, just one additional reminder. Tomorrow is our guest speaker. This is Mike Pelkey right here. He is a professional artist and also the ceramics professor at UW River Falls. Is anyone planning on going to UW River Falls next year? Okay, I just had to ask. So he is going to be joining us on our Google Meet, and your assignment for tomorrow is to, after we've had the talk with Mike, to answer some questions about what he told us about, what he talked to us about in I guess it'll be like a quiz format on Schoology. So make sure you show up 9 a.m. WHS Ceramics is the code. The assignment for tomorrow will be answering the questions about the talk. Okay, so just wanted to remind you about that. I'm going to put the assignment for today back up on the screen. What questions do you have about this new set of cups assignment? It's really self-directed, so it's kind of whatever you want it to be. I'm here to be a resource. So if you don't remember how to throw on the wheel or trim on the wheel or use the slab roller, just ask. I'm here to help with whatever you need me to help with. I'm not necessarily going to have a specific demo for you unless enough people are having the same sorts of questions. And then maybe I'll do an optional demo for those who are interested. Okay? All right, go ahead, look for your pictures, start doing your sketches. People who are at home, hang tight. I'm going to talk to you next. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Elise. That got all tangled. Hey, good morning. All right. So, Brooke, are you pretty clear on what's going on for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously, the wheel is out of the picture for you for this assignment. But you can pinch, coil, slab. You could even sculpt something and then hollow it out to make it function as a cup or a mug. So, yeah, do your sketches, take your photo, submit it. And then if you are able to start one of them today, that would be ideal. Otherwise, we're really going to dig into it on Monday and start hopefully one on Monday in the week. Yesterday,
Sorry, it keeps like cutting out, so I can't hear you.
Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to see if you have any questions.